So good day everyone, I'm Marlon Cortez Relivo Jr. from BSME 2B. So in this video, I am about to discuss the various topic about engineering economy. So problem number 1, what is the annual rate of interest if 200, 265 pesos is earned in 4 months on an investment of 15,000 pesos? So the solution is n is equals to 4 over 12 is equal to 1/3. So n is the number of interest period. So since the problem is in 4 months, so we have to put 4 here, then over 12 as 1 year, as equivalent of 1 year is equal to 1/3, which is the fractions of this 4 over 12. So we proceed to the formula. So the formula is this one: I is equal to I over Pn. So I is the rate of interest per interest period, then I is interest, then over principal or present worth, and number of interest periods. So in this case, let's state our given and our formula. So we use this simple interest as our formula. So here I is equal to 265 pesos over quantity of 15,000 times 1/3. So calculate this one, then the result is equal to 0.053 or 53%. So let us proceed to the problem number 2. So a loan of 2,000 pesos is made for a period of 13 months from January 1 to January 31 to the following year. So as a simple interest of 20%, what is the future amount at the end of a loan period? So as you can see, the formula we must use is this one: F is equal to P, quantity of 1 plus N and I. So F is our accumulated amount or future worth, then P is our principal or present worth, then I is the interest plus number of interest periods and interest. So we have to use this formula here. So F is equals to 2,000 pesos, quantity of 1 plus quantity of 13 over 12. So 13 is the duration of a period, then over 12, which is equivalent of 1 year, and times 0.2 or equivalent of 20%. So you have to calculate this one, then the result is this one. F is equal, our accumulated amount or future worth is 2,433.33 pesos. So that is the final answer. So let's proceed to our number 3 problem. So if you borrow money from your friend with simple interest of 12%, find the percent worth of 20,000 pesos, which is the due at the end of 9 months. So let's state our given problem. So our future worth is equal to 20,000 pesos. Then our number of interest periods is equal to 9 over 12. Then our rate of interest period is equal to 12%. So this is the formula we have to use. So f is equal to p, quantity of 1 plus ni to the power of negative 1. So p is equal to 20,000 pesos, quantity of 1 plus quantity 9 over 12 times 0.12 to the power of 1 negative 1. So calculate p is 1. Then our accumulated amount or future worth is equal to 18,348.62 pesos. So this is our final answer. So let's proceed to our problem number 4. So determine the exact simple interest on 5,000 pesos for the period from January 15 to November 28, 1992. If the rate of interest is 22%. So the given is the principal or present worth is 5,000 pesos. Then our rate of interest per interest period is equal to 22%. So the solution is January 15 is equal to 16, excluding January 15, to November 28 is equal to 28, including November 28. No, November 28 is equal to 28 over 318 days, including the November 28. So let's use this formula. Exact simple interest is equal to PIN, which is the present worth, the rate of interest per interest period, and number of interest period. So here our principal or present worth is 5,000 pesos times rate of interest per unit per interest period. So 318,336 pesos times our number of interest period, which is 0.22 or equivalent of 22%. So you have to calculate this one. Then the final answer is 955.74 pesos. So this is the final answer. So we are now proceed to the problem number 5. So a man wishes his son to receive 200,000 pesos 10 years from now. What amount should be invested if it will earn interest of 10% compound annually during the first 5 years and 12% compounded quarterly during the next 5 years? So in this problem, we have to use the compound interest as our formula. So compound interest, in calculation of compound interest, the interest for an interest period is calculated on the principal plus total amount of interest accumulated in previous periods. So thus compound interest means interest on top of interest. So here, as you can see, we are using a cash flow diagrams. So this diagram is simply a graphical representation of cash flows drawn on a time scale. So cash flow diagram for economics analysis problems is analogous to that of free body diagram of mechanics problems. So this one is the disbursement or negative cash flow or cash outflow. Then this one is the receipt or positive cash flow or cash inflow. So now we have to state the given problem. So the given problem is F is equals our accumulated amount or future worth is equal to 200,000 pesos. Then for compounded interest, our rate of interest per interest period is equal to 10% compound annually. Then the n is equal to 5. So this is our number of interest periods, so it means that during the first 5 years. Then for compound interest here, the I is equal to 12%, so this is our compounded quarterly. So So 4 is equal to 3%. So our number of interest periods here is equal to 5 times 4. So 5 times 4 is equal to 20. So in the solution, P2 is equal to F or future worth quantity of 1 plus I to the power of n, so which is the number of interest periods, then is equal to our future future worth here is 200,000. So quantity of 1 plus 3.03 or 3% over negative 10. So our P2 is equal to 110 pesos. I mean 110,735.15 pesos. Then our P1 here is equal to P2. So this is a formula of the next formula of the compound annually. So P1 is equal to P2, quantity of 1 plus n to the power of n. So here 110,735.17 quantity plus quantity of 1 plus 0.10 or 10% to the power of negative 5. So here, as you can see in our cash flow diagram, so the P1 here, then the P2 is in the 5 years, then the positive cash flow or cash inflow is 200,000, and the other side is the P1 here. Then in the 5 years, after 5 years is 11. Our positive cash flow or cash inflow is 110,735.15. So here, as you can see in the solution. So the calculate this one, then the answer is 68,757.82. So that is the final answer. So let's proceed to the problem number 6. So by the condition of a will, the sum of 25,000 pesos is left to be held in trust by her guardian until it amounts to 45,000 pesos. So when will the girl receive the money if the fund is invested at 8% compounded quarterly? So the given is our principal or present worth is 25,000 pesos. Then our accumulated amount or future worth is 45,000 pesos. Then our rate of interest per interest period is 8%, and 4 is equal to 2%. So the solution is F is equal to P, quantity of 1 plus I to the power of N. So here is our future worth is 45,000 pesos, then is equal to the principal or present worth, which is 25,000, quantity of 1 plus 0.02, or our rate of interest per interest period is 2%. So to the power of our to the power of 4n, which is the number of interest period. So here is 1.8 is equal to quantity of 1.02. Then here is in quantity of 1.8 is equal to 4n over n per n, quantity of 1.02. So you have to calculate that one. So the solution is 29,682 is equal to 4n. Is then calculate, then our interest period is equal to 7.42 years. So the final answer is this one, 7.42 years. So proceed to the problem number 7. So at a certain interest rate compounded semi-annually, 5,000 pesos will amount to 20,000 pesos after 10 years. So what is the amount at the end of 15 years? So the given principal or present worth is 5,000 pesos. Then our number of interest period N1 is 10, which is the 10 years. So our future worth is 20,000 pesos. Then our N2 is 15. So our F2 is, so we're gonna find the accumulated amount or future worth 2. So here is the solution. So our N1 is equal to 10, F1 is equal to 20,000 pesos. So F1 is equal to principal or present worth, then quantity of 1 plus 1/2 to the power of 2 quantity of N1. So this is our number of interest period. So here the principal or present worth is 20,000 pesos is equal to the 5,000. Quantity of 1 plus 1/2 is equal to the power of 2 quantity of 10. So our rate of interest per interest period is equal to 14.35%. So our solution in the number of interest period 2 is equal to 15. So F2 is equal to P quantity of 1 plus 1/2 to the power of 2 in quantity of N2. So here F2 is equal to the principal or present worth, which is the 5,000 pesos, quantity of 1 plus 0 0.1435 over 2, then to the power of 2 quantity of 15. So calculate this one, invert calculator or cycle, then the final answer is this one. Our F1 is our F2 is 39,973.74 pesos. So that's the final answer of the problem number 7. So let's proceed to problem number 8. So Jones Corporation borrowed 9,000 pesos from Brown Corporation on January 1, 1978 and 12,000 pesos on January 1, 1980. So Jones Corporation on January 1, 1981, it was agreed that the balance of the loan would be amortized by 2 payments, one of January 1, 1982 and the other on January 1, 1983. The second being 50% larger than the first. So if the interest rate is 12%, what is the amount of each payment? So the given interest period is 12%. So to understand the flow of the money, let's go to the cash flows diagram. So this one. So which is the 9,000 pesos is the first cash inflow in 1978, then 1979, 1980 is the second cash inflow, which is 12,000 pesos. Then in 1981, 7,000 is the first cash outflow. So in 1982 is the unknown or required, and that's why we put an X. So in 1983 is 50% X plus X, since the 50% is the first payment. So So let's go to the solution. So 9,000 pesos is quantity of 1 plus interest period raised to the power of 5 plus 12,000 pesos quantity of 1 plus interest period to raised to the power of 3 is equal to 7,000 pesos, and the quantity of 1 plus interest period raised to the power of 2 plus x quantity of 1 plus interest period raised to the power of 2 plus 3 over 2x. So this so we use this equation to solve the problem. So 9,000 pesos quantity of 1 plus 0.12 or 12% raised to the power of 5 plus 12,000 pesos quantity of 1 plus 0.12 raised to the power of 3 is equal to 7,000 pesos quantity of 1 plus 0.12 raised to the power of 2 plus x is the quantity of 1 plus 0.12 raised to the power of 2 plus 3 over 2x. So calculate this one. You can do the shift solve. So to calculate this one using shift solve, so x is equal to 9,137.18 pesos. So then here in 3 over 2x is equal to 13,705.77 pesos. So this is our final answer in problem number 8. So now let's proceed to the problem number 9. A woman borrowed 3,000 pesos to be paid after 1.5 years with interest at 12% compounded semi-annually, and 5,000 pesos to be paid after 3 years at 12% compounded monthly. So what single payment must the pay after 3.5 years at an interest rate of 16% compounded quarterly to settle the two obligations? So let's proceed to the given or this solution. So P2 or our principal is 3,000, or I mean our present worth is 3,000 pesos. Then our N1 is equal to 1.5 years. Then our interest period is equal to 12%. So our P2 is 5,000 pesos. Then our N2 is equal to 3. Then our interest or I2 is equal to 12%. So our N3 is equal to 3.5. Then our interest is equal to 6%. So let's use the formula of compound interest. So let's proceed to the solution. So F1 is equal to P quantity of 1 plus I3 over 2 to the power of 2 multiply by N1. So F1 is our future value is equal to 3,000 pesos quantity of 1 plus 0.12 or 12% over 2 raised to the power of 2 multiplied by 1, 3 over 2. Then f1 is equal to is equal to 3,573.05 pesos. Then our f2 or future worth 2 is equal to present worth quantity of 1 plus I2 over 2 raised to the power of 2 multiplied by n2. Then f2 is equal to 5,000 pesos, quantity of 1, 0.12 over 12 raised to the power of 12 multiplied by 3. Then the result our f2 is equal to 7,153.84 pesos. So to find the future value 3, so we use this one. f3 is equal to f1 quantity of 1 plus I3 over 4 raised to the power of 4 multiplied by n2 minus n3 plus f2 quantity of 1 plus I3 over 4 raised to the power of 4 multiplied by n2 minus n2. So substitute the value. So f3 is equal to 3,573.05 quantity of 1 plus 0.16 or 16% over 4 raised to the power of 4 multiplied by 3.5 minus 1 3 over 2 plus 7,153.84. So calculate, then we overcome the value of f1, the future amount of f1. So f3 is equal to 4,889.96 plus 7,737.79. So you have to add that one. Then our future amount, or that's why our future amount is f3 is equal to 12,627.55 pesos. So that's why we overcome the future amount. So that's our final answer in problem number 9. So let's proceed to problem number 10. So Mr. J. De La Cruz borrowed money from a bank. He received from the bank 1,342 pesos and promises to repay 1,500 pesos at the end of the month. So determine the simple interest rate and the corresponding discount rate of, or often referred to as the banker's discount. So let's proceed to what is asked is about discount rate and what is the rate of interest. So our given discount is 158 pesos, and our principal is equal to 1,500 pesos. So let's proceed to the solution. We have to state the D, or the discount. D is equal to discount over principal. So which is 158 over 1 1,500. So calculate. So it's equal to 0.1053 or 10.53%. So this is the formula we have to use, or we must use. So I is equal to D over 1 minus D. So I is equal to 0.1053 over 1 minus 0.1053 is equal to 0.1177 or 11.73%. So this is our final answer, or the discount rate and rate of interest. So let's now proceed to the problem number 11. So a man deposits 50,000 pesos in a bank account at 6% compound monthly for 5 years. So if the inflation rate of 6.5% per year continues for this period, will this effectively protect the purchasing power of the original principal? So the given is P is equal to 50,000 pesos, then R is equal to 6% compounded monthly, then N is equal to 5 years, then F is equal to 6.5%. So the future worth is required. So as a formula of effective rate, so I is equal to quantity 1 plus R, or rate, over nominal rate raised to the power of m minus 1. Then we have to use this formula, or we must use this formula. So let's go to the value. So interest rate is equal to quantity 1 over plus 0.06 over 12 raised to the power of 12 minus 1. Then I is equal to 0.061677 or 6.1677%. So let's go to the future worth. Let's find the future worth. So F is equal to P quantity of 1 plus R over 1 plus F raised to the power of n. So F is equal to 50,000, which is our principal, our present worth. So 50,000 quantity of 1 plus 0.6177 over 1 plus 0.065 raised to the power of 5. Then so we will overcome the answer here. F is equal to 49,225. So that's the final answer, or the future principal. So now let's proceed to the problem number 12. So what is the future worth of 600 pesos deposited at the end of every month for 4 years if the interest rate is 12% compounded quarterly? So the given A is equal to 600 pesos, or our future worth, and R is equal to 12% compounded quarterly, then N is equal to 4 years. So again, the required is the future worth. So let's take the solution. So quantity of 1 plus I raised to the power of 12 minus 1 is equal to quantity of 1 plus r over 4 raised to the power of 4 minus 1. So quantity of 1 plus I raised to the power of 12 minus 1 is equal to quantity of 1 plus 0.12 over 4 raised to the power of 4 minus 1. So our interest rate is equal to 0.009 or 99%. So our n is equal to 4 times 12, so it's equal to 48. So our future worth, so f is equal to a quantity multiply by quantity of 1 plus I raised to the power of n minus 1 over interest rate. So f is equal to 600, which is our future worth. Our future worth. Then multiply by quantity of 1 plus 0.009 raised to the power of 4 minus 1 over 0.009. So calculate that one, then we will overcome the answer here, which is our future worth or future principal. So f is equal to 36,641 pesos. So this is our final answer for our problem number 12. Now let's proceed to our problem number 13. So a young woman 22 years old has just from college. She accepts a good and desires to establish her own retirement fund. At the end of each year thereafter, she plans to deposit 2,000 pesos in a fund at 15% annual interest. So how old will she be when the fund has an accumulated value of 1 million pesos? So our interest rate is equal to 15%. So for regular annuities, accumulation so our accumulation factor is quantity of I 3 over 0 n is equal to quantity of 1 plus I raised to the power of n minus 1 over interest rate. So accumulated amount is equal to annual amount times accumulation factor. So 1 million pesos is equal to 2,000 pesos times quantity of 1 plus n plus I raised to n minus 1 over interest rate. Then quantity of 1 plus 0.15 raised to n minus 1 over 15 is equal to 1 million pesos over 2,000 pesos. Then quantity of 1 plus 0.15 raised to n minus 1 over 0.15 is equal to 500. Then quantity of 1 plus 0.15 raised to n minus 1 is equal to 500 times 0.15. So here 1.15 raised to n minus 1 is equal to 75. Then 1.15 raised to n is equal to 75 plus 1. Then here 1.15 raised to n is equal to 76. Then as added the 75 plus 1, so it's equal to 76. So taking log on both sides, so n times log quantity of 1.15 is equal to log quantity of 76. Then the result is 0.13976, and n is equal to 4.33073. So our n is equal to 4.33075 over 0.13976. So our n is equal to 31 years approximate. So as a result, so she will so 22 plus 31 is equal to 53. So you're 53 years old when the fund has an accumulated value of 1 million. So the answer is 53 years old. So we are now in the problem number 14. So Mr. Reese borrows 600,000 pesos at 12% compounded annually, agreeing to repay the loan in 15 equal annual payments. So how much of the original principal is still unpaid after he has made the 18th payment? So the given is 600,000, which Mr. Reyes borrows at 12% compounded annually. So the 600,000 is the first cash inflow. So in this diagram, 1 to 15 amortization outflow. So amortization is any method of repaying debt. The principal and the interest included usually by series of equal payments at equal interval of time. So a debt of 600,000 with interest at 12% compounded annually. So is to be amortized by equal semi-annually payments over the next 15 years. So the first due in find the semi-annually payment and construct of an amortized schedule. So our interest rate is equal to 12% annually, n is equal to 15. So in the solution, solving for A or amortization, 600,000 is equal to A multiplied by 2 minus quantity of 3 plus 1 raised to negative n over I, or interest. Then here 600,000 is equal to A 2 minus quantity of 2 plus 0.12 over 0.12 raised to negative 15. So A is so calculate this one using this equation. So A is equal to 88,094.54 pesos. So at N is equal to 7, P is equal to A multiplied by 1 minus quantity of 1 plus 1 raised to negative 5 over interest rate. Then P is equal to 88,094.54 pesos multiplied by 3 minus 0.12, multiplied by quantity of 3, multiplied by quantity of 2 minus 0.12 raised to negative 7 over 0.12. So we will overcome the final answer here. So our P is equal to 402,042 pesos. So this is our final answer in problem number 14. So now let's proceed to our problem number 15. So M purchased a small lot in a subdivision, paying 200,000 pesos and promising to pay 15,000 pesos every 3 months for the next 10 years. So the seller figured interest at 12% compounded quarterly. So question A is, what was the cash price of the lot? So in B, if M missed the first 12 payments, what must he pay at the time the 13th is due to bring him up to date? Then C, after making 8 payments, M wished to discharge his indebtedness by a single payment at the time when the 19th regular payment was due. So what must he pay in addition to the regular payment then due? So in the letter D, if M missed the 10 payments, what must he pay when the 11th payment is due to discharge his entire indebtedness? So the given here in the diagram, as we can see, so the down payment is 200,000. Then 200,000 pesos, then going to 1 to 40 amortization. So here down payment is equal to 200,000, then A is equal to 15,000 pesos, N is equal to quantity of 4 times 4 multiplied by 10 is equal to 40. Then I is equal to 12% compounded quarterly. So here, as a question number A, question letter A. sorry. Question letter A. So what was the cash price of the lot? So here we can use this formula. So I is equal to 12% over 4 is equal to 3%. Then N is equal to 40. So P is equal to 200,000 plus A multiplied by 1 minus quantity of 1 plus I raised to negative n over interest. Then p so we can use this formula equation to solve our present worth or present value. So p is equal to 200,000 plus 15,000 multiplied by 1 is 1 minus quantity of 1 plus 0.03 raised to negative 40 over 3 over 0.03. So let's calculate this one. So we can overcome the answer here. So the p is equal to 546,722 pesos. So this is our answer in letter A. So proceed to letter B. So if M is the first 12 payments, what must he pay at the time the 13th is due to bring him up to date? So here I interest rate is equal to 3,000, then N is equal to 13. So here our future word is equal to F13 is equal to A multiplied by quantity of 1 plus I raised to N minus 1 over interest. And then here F13 is equal to multiplied by 15,000 quantity of 1 plus 0.03 raised to 12 minus 1 over 0.03. Then so again calculate this one. So the final answer of the letter B is 234,270 pesos. So let's proceed to letter C. So N is equal to 40 minus 9 is equal to 31. So P is equal to A multiplied by 1 minus quantity of 1 plus I raised to negative N over I. So P is equal to 15,000, which is our amortization. Then multiplied to 1 minus quantity of 1 multiplied to 1 minus quantity of 1 plus 0.03 raised to negative 31 over 0.03. So the final answer of the letter C is 300,006 pesos. So in letter D, so P at N is equal to 29. So P29 is equal to A multiplied by 1 minus quantity of 1 plus I raised to negative N over interest. Then P29 is equal to 15,000 multiplied by 1 minus quantity of 1 plus 0.03 raised to negative 29 over 0.03. So our P29 is the final answer is the 287,826.82 pesos. So that's here, and our future worth is equal to N is equal to 11. So it's equal to A multiplied by quantity of 1 plus I raised to N minus 1 over interest. Then 15,000 multiplied by quantity of 1 plus 0.03 raised to 11 minus 1 over 0.03. And then here P. So here the answer by calculating this one, so the answer is 192,116.94 pesos. So here our share in our final payment. Therefore Q is equal to 29 plus 11. Then Q is equal to 287,826.82 plus 192,116.94. So our final payment is 479,948,000. So this is our final answer or final payment in problem number 15. So now let's proceed to our problem number 16. So a man approaches the ABC loan agency for 100,000 pesos to be paid in 24 monthly installments. The agency advertisement on interest rate of 1.5 interest per month. So they proceed to calculate the amount of his monthly payment in the following manner. So accumulated requested is 100,000 pesos. Then our credit investigation is 500 pesos. Then our credit risk insurance is 1,000 pesos. So in total of 101,500 pesos. So our interest is 101,500 pesos multiplied by 24, then multiplied by 0.015 in decimal, is equal to 36,540 pesos. So total owned 101,500 pesos plus 36,540 pesos is equal to 138,840. Sorry. 138,040 pesos. So our payment is 138,40 pesos over 24 is equal to 570 our payment is 138,040 pesos divided by 24 is equal to 5,751.67 pesos. So in solution, 100,000 So 100,000 pesos divided by into 5,751.67 pesos. So it is equal to 17.3863. So 17.3863 is equal to 1 minus quantity of 1 plus I raised to negative 24 over interest. So our interest rate is equal to 0.0276. So effective rate is equal to multiply quantity of 1 plus 0.276 raised to 12 minus 1 times 100. So our effective rate is equal to 38.64%. So this is our final answer in problem number 16. So let's proceed to our last problem, which is the problem number 17. So a new office building was constructed 5 years ago by a consulting engineering firm. At that time, the firm obtained the bank loan for 10 million pesos with a 20% annual interest rate, compound quarterly. The terms of the loan called for equal quarterly payment for a 10-year period with the right of prepayment anytime without penalty. So due to internal changes in the firm, it is now proposed refinance the loan through an insurance company. So the new loan is planned for a 20-year term with an interest rate of 24% per annual compound quarterly. So the insurance company has a one-time service charge 5% of the balance. So this new can also calls for equal quarterly payments. So A, what is the balance due to the original mortgage, which is a principal, if all payments have been made through full 5 years. And letter B, what will be the difference between the equal quarterly payments in the existing arrangement and the revised proposal? So in solution, this is our diagram. So A is equal to 10 million over 1 minus quantity of 1 plus 0.20 over 4 raised to negative 20 over 0.20 over 4. So A1 is equal to 582,781.6117 pesos. So A, the remaining balance is equal to P. So P is equal to 582,781.6117 multiplied by 1 minus quantity of 1 plus 0.20 over 4 raised to negative 20 over 0.20 over 4. So the answer to calculate this one, our answer is equal to 72,627,004. And I mean sorry. So I mean our final answer in letter A, the remaining balance, so it is 7,262,747.29 pesos. So this is our final answer in letter A. So let's proceed to letter B, remaining balance plus 5% service charge. So it is equal to 762,588.4. I mean 7,600,000. Wait, 7,625,000 7,884 pesos. So here, A is equal to 7,625,884 over 1 minus quantity of 1 plus 0.24 over 4 raised to negative 8 over 0.24 over 4. So AZ is equal to